And so I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not doing any of that. But I question, like, so why didn't anybody get shot at the well, one person? Why didn't anybody get shot at the insurrection at the Capitol? Why were guns not pulled out on them? And not to say that I want that to happen, but I know people who got shot over a traffic light. You know, I know people who got shot in a Walmart with a toy gun. So you didn't pull out a gun or nothing, and folks was bashing in windows. Folks was leaving pipe bombs, and you ain't do nothing. Not a thing. That's what's up. That's what's up. So after this, I better not hear that another person got pulled over for speeding and then got shot, because a person busting into the Capitol is okay. You wasn't scared enough to pull out a gun on them, but a person at a traffic light running it, you are scared enough to pull out a gun. You know, so the White House is nuts. Politics is really nuts right now, really backwards. They are sitting at that table, and I don't know if they're really doing this for us or just to represent their own gang, you know? And I say gang purposely. They are out here ganging, throwing up their signs and repping the Democrats and the Republicans, wearing their colors, and now I guess wearing their kente cloths and going in there and doing it. And I'm over them.
No, I was gonna say I don't have a comment. I mean, I think we talked about that in our last episode. It was like there's no way possible you could have had a group of Black or people of color storming the White House and the response be the same as what we saw. Like Brandon said, nobody was shot. Well, besides the one person. There was no tear gas being thrown into the crowd. There wasn't armed individuals with the barricades and walking through. I mean, a lot of stuff was just not the same. So when you had peaceful protests who had permits to actually protest, you responded by trying to get the National Guards being sent in. But then you have a true insurgency. You have people literally chanting, talking about they're going to kill politicians who look like them. And nothing happened besides you round them all up and you're talking about whether or not they're going to face charges. Like, they got to go home and they got to go back into an airport. They got a chance to leave. And yet we had young brown and Black people arrested for chanting in the street. Didn't do anything, didn't approach any government building. They did not bring a threat to anybody, but yet they either didn't keep their life or their lives were changed because of arrest records, the further criminalization of Black and brown. Like, it's, yeah. So I think that goes back to what Brandon was saying. Like, I don't know what we're doing as a country, because I mean, I think we do know what we're doing as a country. We're showing the world who we really are. We're no longer hiding our skirt. We're showing everything up underneath our skirt because we've just exposed ourselves to the truths of who we are. That's why I think also when that happened, many people of color, specifically Black and brown people, were sitting at home like, we got the popcorn. We just waiting to see what happened because we knew this. We've lived this. It's not been that too long ago where our grandparents are the ones who were with King, and our grandparents were the ones who were there on Bloody Sunday. Our grandparents were there through all of the different riots. Our parents, some of us were there doing some of these riots. Like, it wasn't centuries ago. It was probably like maybe just 2 generations ago. So it's not, we knew this. So for me, it's like, what am I supposed to say about this? Like, I'm waiting to see what else they're about to do, because I really want to sit back and just pull the popcorn out. Don't come to me, because I will have something for you. But go ahead, tear up your country. Go ahead, because you felt like your master, your leader, was cheated out of an election that he tried to steal. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you brought up Bloody Sunday, Z, I was listening to something earlier talking about that Sunday will be 56 years since Bloody Sunday, March 7th. And when you were talking about peaceful protest and thinking about like the pictures I saw, and then of course watching the movie Selma, and then of course I'm very sensitive to like violent things, so it's a little bit harder for me to watch certain historical movies. And so I mean, just seeing and watching, even just in the movie of Selma, which once again there were other like real videos and everything, and realizing these people were walking for something that made sense, walking for something like common, like rights, just let me live my life. And the amount of violence and the amount of just horrific things that were done to them that are still being perpetuated in many ways today, as what we're seeing were protests that are done by people of color. To just, when you just equate that, when you just look at the fact, like you said, what happened at the Capitol, but then what we've seen in Bloody Sunday 50 plus years ago, but then what we're still seeing today in our country, it's mirrored.